Okay folks, it's finally here. This is Wintermute in the Long Dark, and it is a very different menu, I have to say. It's all completely different. It caught me by surprise when I loaded the game up. Today is the 1st of August. It is launch day, and we have Wintermute. Yes, completely different. I have not played this. I'm going in blind. I'm very excited. I'm bouncing off the walls. I'm so excited to get into Wintermute. So, without further ado, let's get in there. Now, obviously, this is just a release. I've already had one little bug where the resolution was all a bit wrong, but we've sorted that out now. So, we're ignoring survival mode. We're going into Wintermute. We are starting a new story. This is episode number 1. We can play episode 1, we can play episode 2. At the moment, 3, 4, and 5 are not there, but don't worry, we'll do episode 1 and 2 to start with. Okay, let's get going then. This is completely new. I have no idea what to expect from this, by the way. I am still aiming... Oh, hang on. Let me just shut up for a second. Oh, that looks painful. Can I remove that? Oh, that looks painful, but it's healed remarkably quickly. Okay, I've now got control. Here we are. We are in the Long Dark Wintermute. We are here. We are in the game. I have no idea what I'm doing. This is rather scary and exciting at the same time. Okay, I don't know where I am, I don't know what I'm doing. I assume we have fallen for... Ooh, that looks rather nice. Look at that. That's all nice and pink and purple and stuff. Oh, that's cool. I assume our plane has crashed. We've been separated. Now, I did notice the missions thing, so let's hit the journal. Day 1, if you remain exposed, you'll die. Well, that's positive. Start. Find a cave to shelter him from the elements. Start a fire so you don't freeze. You have a bleeding wound, find and make a bandage to use it to stop blood loss. Okay. And we haven't got anything else to... Okay, is that a blind man or someone who's been blindfolded and tied to a chair? I don't really know. We'll find out. Okay, so we need to find a cave then. That looks a bit like a cave over there. Is there anything that we can collect whilst we're out here? Knowing that this is the Long Dark and we usually want to collect things that we see, let's see if we can pick things up. Yes. Oh, I don't need them yet. It won't let me harvest them. Oh, that's a shame. Okay. We're a bit more guided then here. Is it going to let me pick this stick up? Oh, yes, it will. Excellent. Well, we need to start a fire, so we are going to need these. Let's pick these up. That's a... Oh, I can't bother to break that down right now. Let's just concentrate on the sticks that we found. Oh, we've got some stuff here. We have a lot of stuff, so let's see what we've got. We have got a cardboard box that we can break down for tinder. There we go. I'm surprised we're not getting any heat from these fires. Or are we? Or are we? No, we're not. Okay. What we got here in the first aid kit? A bandage. Well, we needed that, didn't we? And we have some antibiotics, and we have another bandage. Oh, okay. Study your treatments and learn to triage. There are many ways to die in the wilderness. Again, that's positive. Medical treatments, man-made harvested, will save your life. Use the status screen to check your health. Apply treatment, use the first aid. Well, we know all of this because this has been in there for a very long time. Preparation and self-control are vital to your survival. Check your controls menu if you're unsure what to do. Could save your life. Well, we've been doing this for a while, so we kind of know what we're doing. We know we have to use a bandage. So let's do that. Do we have any other ailments at the moment? Yes. What do we need to fix it? I don't No. Oh, I think it's because it hasn't actually healed yet. We can't do anything. Okay. Well, let's pick up the newsprint. Let's pick up the stick. Let's pick up the cloth. Let's pick up the other newsprint. We're going to need those. Okay, let's pick up the stick. The other stick. We've got some cedar firewood. We have another piece of cedar firewood. And we have something telling us about fire. Use campfire option in the moment. This is really for players who haven't played the game before. If you have not played the game before, welcome to the Long Dark. This is kind of the tutorial element of the game, I think. That's a good start. Is that a bear? I think that's a bear skeleton. That's always positive. Okay, so we need to start a fire. We can start a fire by going to the radio menu and choosing the option. We're going to come to the back of the cave as much as we can so it is nice and warm. Some of the graphics have changed as well. We've got different pictures for things. Okay, start with a stick, standard practice. We all know how to do this. Let's see if we can get a fire lit. Again, there has been a big graphical sweep. It was quite a large download. It took quite a while for my PC to download it over my pretty abysmal internet connection. So it's quite a sizable download. Looks like there's some new graphics. I know there's new regions, and I know that we're going to be in a region that we have not been in before. We don't know where we are. I haven't got the foggiest idea, but I know that we're going to be in a region that we haven't been in previously from the survival mode. So that's going to be very interesting. Okay, we have a fire started. Oh, and it now won't let me do anything else. I'm locked. All I can do is look around. Okay. Right. So it's kind of guiding us a little bit at the moment. We can only do what the game wants us to do. Status is already. This is kind of the tutorial for this new mode, isn't it? A little bit. Bring up quick stats radio. You get a preview of current conditions. Relevant information about cold, tired, hungry, and thirsty. Anytime one of these stations is empty and red, it means you're losing condition. Lose all your condition and you'll die. So that's the basic condition system in the Long Dark. Can we pick up any charcoal? No, we can't. That's annoying. Right. Well, the weather outside is looking much better. We need to melt snow. There's a deer carcass over there. I have a feeling we're going to be told to go and harvest that in a minute. We've got much better weather out here right now. We need water. So I think I'm going to need to relight my fire. It's a little bit annoying because I was planning on making water, as I always do at the start of one of these, as soon as I get a campfire lit, but it didn't let me. So obviously at the start of story mode, it's a little bit more guided than we're used to in sandbox mode, where we have to do certain things when it tells us to do them, which is a bit annoying. But never mind, it is what it is. So let's see if we can get this fire started. Might as well reuse the existing campfire rather than making a new one. Okay, and this time it's actually going to let me add some fuel. Perfect. So can we now make water? Yes, we can. Let's see if we can do... We'll just do 1.5 litres. So, as always, we have to melt it, and then we have to boil it so it becomes drinkable. So melting it gives us non-potable water, water we can't drink, and then boiling it gives us potable water that we can drink. So there we go. So we've made our first batch of water, and we still have a little bit of fire going. So I'm going to go ahead and drink from the radio menu. There we go. So that's sorted that out. Now we need food. That's going to be a bit more complicated. Okay, the game seems to be letting me do things a little bit more openly now. Well, the only thing I've got to hand are rose hips. Is it going to let me harvest them now? No, it isn't. Okay, is there anything else lying around that we didn't see before? Yes, there is. In fact, there's some wreck. I'm sure this wreckage wasn't here yesterday when we... Yes, it must have fallen down during the night. An MRE. Well, that's convenient. Cloth, newsprint. The cloth image has changed. That's a crate we can break down for fuel. We're not going to do that right now. We've got a book, we've got newsprint. Disinfect, well, antiseptic. And some more matches. We've got plenty of matches. Cloth. It won't let me harvest the rose hips. And right now it won't really let me go anywhere. I don't know where we are. No, I can't actually go anywhere. Look, I can't go down. I can't go up. I can't go left. I can't go right. So at the moment, I'm trapped in this little area. I can't really go anywhere. Okay, so let's head back into our cave then. I assume at some point we're going to end up with a rope or some means of being able to get down from where we are. But right now we're a bit stuck. Oh, unless we can go that way. I don't think we can. Okay, let's get back in our cave then. We have our little fire. It's still burning, so we might as well chuck a little bit more wood on it and keep it going. Even if we just chuck a couple of sticks on it so we get a little bit more out of it. And we're going to eat that MRE. Because I think that's what the game wants us to do, so let's go ahead and do it. There we go. Okay, so we now have an infection risk. But that's handy because we have one or the other and I can't remember which one I'm supposed to use. It is antiseptic. So let's use the antiseptic from the radio menu. Antiseptic, apply it. And that will sort our cutout. So that's healed our infection risk. Oh, it's locked me out again. Okay, so at the moment we're not quite doing things as we normally do in Sandbox. The game is taking control of what we're doing. Okie dokie, so we need to make a good long fire. A good long fire in the long dark. So we're going to need lots of fire materials, lots of firewood. So we need as many sticks as we can get. I'm not going to break branches down just yet. There's nothing around here for me to collect. What's that? It's a bit of firewood. We've got another stick. We've got some more firewood. I think the basis of this is it's all stuff that's fallen down from above. We can break down this crate for some reclaimed wood. We've got some more cedar. We've got another stick. Another stick. Another stick. I should really look at the missions and see what we've actually got to do, because there's some birch bark, that's good tinder. Another stick, more birch, more, another stick, another stick. Okay, let's head back inside the cave then. Hopefully it's a little bit warmer. And before we go anywhere else, let's have a quick look at the missions. So survival of this is build a fire in the cave that will last the night. 9 hours. So we've got to build a 9-hour fire. Okay. Well, let's see what we can do then. So I'm going to use the book to get it started. So we've got a very good chance of that firing up. Books always burn very well. And come on then. Come on then. We know you want to light. Come on, little fire. There we go. So we've got. I think we're pretty much going to have to chuck every bit of fuel we have at this to get 9 hours out of it. So we've got 7 hours. So I need to find a bit more firewood. I'm going to go with these crates. Is there another one? I'm sure there was another one, wasn't there? These will probably do the trick. So we've got little missions that we have to do now, which is... Oh, there's books in that crate. Oh, that's okay then. That's cool. That gives us plenty of fire. Okay, let's get in here then and get... Well, let's chuck some of these books on the fire, and then let's chuck this reclaimed wood on the fire. There we go. That's long enough. Okay, so let's duck down behind the fire. And the missions have been updated, so let's have a look. Get your body temperature up. Warm yourself by the fire for a while. Well, we're there, and we are by the fire. We're right behind the fire. So our body temperature is going to go up. So I assume it's going to lock us out again in a minute, and then move us on to the next day. So slightly different to what we're used to, where we come into the sandbox, we're kind of just thrown in there and we do what we want. We're a little bit more controlled here. We're stuck on a ledge, we can't go anywhere. We've got a very scripted set of events to do, but this is almost the training for the game. So if you're new to the Long Dark, you never played it before, this is what kind of gets you into the frame of what you've got to do. Oh, there we go. So we are moving on to the next day, day 4. Very, very quick progression. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so the storm has ended. We need food. Explore the ravine. You need food to survive. Scavenge what you can and eat until you're full. So, does that mean we can now... oops. Crows. You're easily specified. Pay attention to surroundings. You might glean information that's important. For example, a murder of crows, and that is genuinely what that is called. A group of crows is called a murder. Circling up ahead might suggest an animal carcass or even a human corpse that might be nearby. Well, we already know there's an animal carcass nearby because we saw it, didn't we? Over there, and the tree here is the tree has moved. Yep, and we can now use it as a bridge to get across to that ledge over there, where there is a deer carcass, which I knew we were going to be directed to at some point. There's also quite a lot of other stuff. So we have got Will's coat. Oh, okay. So that is our coat. So we can put that on. So let's go into the clothing menu. And let's put on our coat, if we haven't already. It's a bit cold, though. Right, okay, so we need to pick up the cedar, we need to pick up the stick. What else is over here? We've got some more firewood. I still can't... I can probably climb what? What can I climb? You want me to climb something? What can I climb? Okay, well we've... Okay, Astrid's case. Astrid is the female character that I believe we play in a different chapter of the game. Oh! Cutscene!
Jackrabbit Remote Transport, Mackenzie speaking. Whoa, slow down. What are you talking about? It's okay, Morty. I've got it from here.
Hello, Will.
What are you doing here?
Been a while, I know.
Yeah. Years. I haven't heard from you since...
I know. And I wouldn't be here if it weren't important.
Well... What brings you... I mean... Are you sick?
No, not me. But I need to get to someone who is.
Right. So you're still a doctor?
Yes, I'm still a doctor.
I thought that after... Why are you here?
I need your help. There's an isolated community in the northern part of Great Bear. Someone there is very sick.
Great Bear? There's nothing there anymore. Not since...
I know. But I have to get there.
Still trying to save the world, huh?
Somebody has to.
What's that supposed to mean?
Mackenzie... Will... I didn't come here to fight about the past. I need a pilot to take me somewhere remote. Someone who won't ask too many questions. Someone I can trust.
Wait. Questions? Astrid, are you in trouble?
Are you gonna help me, or not?
What's in the case?
See, there's that thing about no questions, remember?
What's in the case, Astrid?
No questions.
Look, the weather out there is bad. Bad. But it's getting worse. You walk in here after years. I could have been dead. You could have been. Then you show up and you want me to just risk my life flying into the middle of the great northern nowhere to deliver you in some mystery metal case to some remote wilderness outpost. All because you walked in here and asked me to?
Yes.
Astrid, you can't bring him back.
This isn't about that.
I know how hard it's been.
No. You don't know, Mackenzie. You don't know anything.
You don't think I feel it too?
Are you gonna take me or not? The longer I wait, the worse it'll get. Damn it. I don't have time for this.
Wait. The worse what will get? Why do I have a feeling you're not talking about the weather?
Because I'm not.
Throw your bags in the plane. I'll get started on pre-flight. Better buckle up tight, because it's going to be a rough ride.
Well, there is our first bit. Oh, be quiet, Will. There's our first bit of story in the Wintermute in the Long Dark. Yeah, so interesting, very interesting. We shall see how this pans out. Except it now won't let me search anything else. I can't search that backpack. Okay, it just won't let me search that backpack. Okay, well let's carry on then, because it clearly wants me to do something with this carcass over here. So let's come over here. Okay, so we've got 3.5 kilos of meat. It's going to take us an hour and 45 minutes. We have a scrap metal shard that we can use as a knife, so we're going to use that. And we shall harvest this deer carcass, as we normally do when we play the Long Dark. Okay, so we now have some raw venison. We need to cook it. There we go. Everything you eat, can kill you. When starving, you may feel desperate enough to take chances, but in general, eating raw meat is a bad idea. Cook it over a fire to avoid getting food poisoning or parasites. Cooked meat also lasts longer and attracts fewer predators. So, that is what I think I've got to do next. We can't go any further down the ravine. So, I think we need to go back to our cave. If we can find our way back across. There we are. So, we have a slightly longer route that we can take. No, we're not going to lay down for a bit. We are going to light another fire and cook this venison, because that is what we the game wants us to do. Okay, so there's no additional firewood around other than the branches, so I think I'm going to have to think about breaking these down now, because I'm running out of firewood up here. We've got a little bit, so let's see how we do. So we'll go back in here and we'll relight this fire again. We're going to use a book and birch bark as tinder, so that will give us a really good chance of this fire lighting. Now, I am coming up on my normal time limit, so I'm hoping I can find a sensible place to stop this. It's going to be a little bit complicated in story mode, getting the timings right with this. So what do we think of it so far then? Well, it's all been very simple. In this very first video, we haven't really got very far. It's all been very scripted. I am hoping that once we're through this essential tutorial bit of the game, that we kind of open out a little bit and we can start exploring the regions. But right now, we are pretty much having to follow what the game wants us to do. So we're going to have to cook this venison. So this is all game mechanics that we're very familiar with if we've played the Long Dark before. Although if you haven't, obviously you're getting the chance to learn here how it's done. How we go about basic survival. There never really was a tutorial as such in the Alpha Sandbox when it first came out. You were kind of just thrown in there and sort of you just had to figure it out for yourself. So it's kind of cool there is almost like a tutorial bit now to the game. As we cook all of our meat, which we've been able to do, and we should now be nice and warm as well. And let us eat. So into the food menu, and we can eat as much as we need until we are full, which I think is probably going to be all of it, in all honesty. I think that's what the game's getting at. It's going to be 3 pieces. And there we go. We need to drink as well, but I don't know if it's going to let me do that. There we are. It has indeed let me do that. Okay, so do we have any other missions? See if you're strong enough to climb out of the ravine. Explore the ravine. Okay. So, explore the ravine. Does that mean we can go somewhere else? Or can we climb out of the ravine? Okay. So apparently we can climb up. I can't go down, but can I go up? Okay, we'll just try and do this bit then, see if we can climb out of the ravine. We haven't obviously set up our cache like we normally do when we start a game in the Long Dark. Oh, okay. Okay, that went well. I think it wanted us to do that. Yes, it deliberately, yes, it wanted us to do that so we could harvest the rose hips. I did think it was a bit odd that it was going to get us to climb out of here when we haven't actually harvested these obviously planted rose hips yet. So we now have a sprained ankle that we need to go and sort out. But we are coming up on our limit for this, the length of the video, so I like to try and keep them to half an hour. We're coming up on that, so what I'm going to do, we are going to go back to the cave, see if we can do these rose hips and do this bit. Although I actually have some painkillers, so I don't technically need to use the rose hips, but we'll play along. We'll play along with what the game wants us to do. Hopefully these are enough. Okay, here we go then. So, obviously this is going to mean lighting another fire, unless I can. So I need sprained ankle, 2 of those, or rose hip tea. Do you know what? Can we just be sneaky? We haven't got painkillers, we've got antibiotics. Oh, I thought we had painkillers. Okay, so let's relight this fire for about the 5th time. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, do I actually have a tint plug? No, I don't. Okay, we just need to do a little bit of housekeeping. Because we know what we're doing, so we're going to do some housekeeping. We are going to harvest our one piece of newsprint into a tinder plug so that we're not wasting fire starting material. Let's get this fire lit, we'll do the rose hips, and then we shall call it quits for this video before we move on to the next bit. I'll just do with this lighting nice and quickly. Because I'm not the only one recording videos tonight. The lovely Jennifer is sitting behind me, chomping at the bit, ready to jump into some Tomb Raider. So we shall have some Tomb Raider videos coming, which will probably be on her channel. We haven't quite decided yet, have we? No, we haven't quite decided how we're going to do that yet, but she's going to start doing some Tomb Raider, which is going to be pretty cool. She's a massive, massive Tomb Raider fan. Okay, apparently I don't have enough rose hips. So I'm now going to go and harvest more rose hips very, very quickly. Because I'm absolutely sure that's where you're supposed to make rose hip tea. Oh, don't tell me that I've got a... Oh, there's a... I can't sprint because I have a sprained ankle. But there's some rose hips over here that I've missed. Oh, there's a whole load of them. I never have quite known how many rose hips you need to make rose hip tea. Yeah, I know you need first aid. Okay, so I think that's all of the rose hips in the entire ravine. So let's get ourselves back to this fire before it burns out, ideally. And let's get some rose hip tea made so we can do this and we can wrap up for our very first explore in Wintermute. And it has been fairly muted, to be fair, because we're only at the very beginning. I'm fairly sure this is going to expand quite considerably once we're clear of this tutorial bit and we are out of the ravine. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I'm sure this is where you make rose hip tea. Or am I wrong? You don't craft it, do you? You don't craft it. No, because I can't even get into the crafting menu. Okay, apparently you need to prepare your rose hips before you can do anything else with them. Right, okay. So does that mean I can now make rose hip tea? Oh, I've got no water! Oh, this is... Okay, this is a learning curve. Okay, I need to put some more fuel on this fire. Okay. Things are slightly different. And I am still learning. Okay, so let's just quickly make half a litre of water just so that I've got enough for this. I really want to wrap this up now because we're coming up on my self-imposed half-an-hour time limit. We're chomping at the bit ready for video number 2 in the series, which I'm going to be filming tomorrow, and then we're going to carry on moving from this. Okay, so we now have rosehip tea, so let's drink that rosehip tea, and I'm still going in via the long route. Or is it going to be in the medicines? Yeah, there it is. Let's drink it. It's hot as well, so it warms up, which is always a good thing. There we are. So that's sorted out. Okay, it's locked me again. Let's pass forward into the next day then, which is going to be day 5, and then we'll see what it's going to ask us to do, and then we shall wrap up, and we shall have a go at this in the next video. It's looking a little bit murky. Okay, so I think what you know can save you. Learn things about the world either through your own actions or interacting with people. Unlock knowledge about people, places, things, and actions. Deeper knowledge can be revealed when you gain the trust of other survivors you meet. This knowledge is tracked in your journal for future reference. So this is the knowledge system, which we will hopefully start to build up on. I have noticed the game has just saved, so that is a really good place for us to stop. And I think we are now ready to climb out of the ravine. It's time to climb out of the ravine, yes, so that is going to be our mission. But we are going to do that in the next video. So I am going to say it's time. We are in Wintermute. I think we've reached the end of what I believe is going to be the introduction. So next time we're going to climb out of the ravine. We're going to carry on into the game, and hopefully it'll become a little bit more open world. We can start to explore, and we'll hopefully start to meet some other people, and we'll carry on from there. So I am going to say thank you very much for watching the first exploration into Wintermute, and I shall see you again very, very soon.